All right. Looks like we're recording now. Um, so I'm Elijah, just some random dude. I'm talking to my sister Alexa. We just decided to start a podcast, talking about random stuff. And today we're gonna talk about Tartaria. Yeah, we really love conspiracy theories. So, yeah, we're getting into it now. Alexa, you can go ahead and start talking to show that you're there as well.
Hey guys, first episode on the channel. Excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I'm excited too. Don't know where this is going. It's pretty low effort right now because we don't know if it's going anywhere. But we decided to start off by talking about the Tartarian structures. I don't know if you guys have heard about them, but supposedly, I'm going to explain to you, Alexa, basically what the Tartarian structures are, like, as if you don't know what they're about.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Tartaria is this idea that we had a previous civilization that existed a few hundred years ago, actually. And sorry about that. We just experienced a bit of an interruption. But as I was explaining, the idea of the Tartarian civilization is that it's like this civilization that our current world is hiding from us. So like the governments and the companies and stuff are basically hiding this older civilization that's only a few hundred years old, actually. And the evidence that we have for this are various structures that have been built in the 1800s. And these structures have been built at a very rapid pace, right? And that's the interesting thing, because with the technology we had at the time, like, it would take a long time to carry, like, certain materials back and forth to the job site. And so it's strange that it only took 2 years to build these, like, very magnificent structures. And right here we have the World Fair from 1904 in St. Louis. And as you can see, it's got some very magnificent looking structures that were apparently temporary structures, which is very strange. And so one of the theories is that this is a cover-up. These structures were actually always there, and that they just used the fair as a way to pretend that these structures were new and temporary, and then they were able to destroy the structures after the fair was finished. So yeah, that's kind of just a rundown of Tartaria for Alexa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting topic, Elijah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what to say other than it's pretty crazy that the government would do this,
Yeah, it's very strange.
hypothetically.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, my question for you would be, like, do you think Tartaria is real? Like, do you believe in Tartaria? Like, this theory?
I think so. I mean, the documentary that you showed me that's linked down below.
Yeah, we'll link that documentary down below.
Yeah.
The Old World Order is very convincing.
Yeah, it really is. They had a lot of convincing, logical comments and
Yeah.
explanation in that documentary. Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, I think I actually believe in the Tartarian theory too. Like, it just doesn't add up to me, like all these structures being built so rapidly, and they all look Romanesque, and it's like, how could, like, a horse and wagon, like, in a time where everybody was using horse and wagons, how could they build such beautiful structures, and then all of a sudden you go to, like, the shacks, like the crappy looking 1800s, like, kind of like the Wild West, I don't know if I can just pull up some buildings, like Wild West buildings. Like, those look totally different than, like, the fancy Romanesque ones. And it's like, okay, I believe they can definitely build something like this, but can they build something like this, especially in like, such a short time frame? That's my question. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
And what I think is crazy is that we can't even build buildings like that nowadays with the kind of technology that we have. So they must have had more advanced technology back then to make those kinds of buildings.
I mean, that's just kind of the assumption that we have because we don't make buildings like this anymore. Yeah. Especially like with how long it took them to build them. Like, I mean, we just keep going back to that, but like that's just like a very important point, you know.
Only
Yeah.
a couple years, right?
Yeah, and you can look up various Wikipedia pages on different buildings, like, and you'll see 2 years. A great YouTube channel that covers it is My Lunch Break, and they cover like all these different buildings in each one of their episodes, and it's like it's very compelling evidence that they've shown. So yeah, I don't know. I believe in the Tartarian theory, and it seems like my sister believes in it too. So why do you think they did this, Alexa? Like, what happened? Like, what's the purpose behind this?
The purpose behind the
Like,
buildings,
well,
or
covering up the facts? Like, or I guess my question is like, what do you think is going on?
I think they're covering it up. I think the government is covering it up because of the New World Order thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to make us forget about the past and the kind of abilities that we had back then, so that they can make us believe that we are inferior in a way. If that makes sense. You know?
Kind of like bring us down.
Yeah, so
Um,
that
The airship is a good example of like some history that has been lost. Like, we already know that the airship exists, but we don't seem to know much about it. Let me look up the image, Empire State Building.
But the more inferior they make us as citizens, the more control they have over us. So if they want to bring a new world order, you know, or do whatever they want, put us under a spell, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's just, it's so weird, you know? Like, the idea that there was this previous civilization, and then something seemed to have taken it out, like what I guess we would call the Illuminati, you know? And then they caused, like, the New World Order. And it's interesting, too, because, like, we have this idea of the Great Reset, and this is a conspiracy theory that in the future there will be a Great Reset, 2030. But it seems like, according to the Tartarian theory, we've already had a Great Reset. So
Back in the revolutionary or
the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So the Great Reset, that's what the World Economic Forum is supposedly pushing. So like, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. You remember that one, Alexa?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that.
It's a very famous, slogan that the World Economic Forum pushed out. So it seems like we've already had a Great Reset in the past, and the Tartarian structures are the remnants of that Great Reset. And then there's going to be another Great Reset to kind of like further push us into this controlled state. So that's just my personal opinion. I mean, I don't know very much, you know, like, I'm just a kid, but like, those are my views on it, you know, just since we're on the topic. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that they're like digitalizing everything, like
Digitizing.
digitizing. My bad.
Keep going.
Anyways, you know, like currency is now being on the phones instead of like credit cards and like physical money.
Oh, you're saying like, are you talking about like cryptocurrencies? What are you trying to talk about?
Or they're just putting everything into our phones, you know, so that it could be more convenient.
Yeah.
But I think that's only like bringing us closer to the new reset, so that they could put us under more control, so that one day they could probably take away the internet and then we just have nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
So you're saying like, when you were talking about the money thing, you weren't necessarily talking about like the type of money it is, but rather like the way we use money, like, because instead of using the dollar bills are going to be sitting in the bank while we're accessing that money through our credit cards and our phones and stuff, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I get what you mean. It's interesting because we used to be like the U.S. dollar used to be attached to a gold, like it was attached to the gold system or whatever, right? Like it was backed up by gold. And then I think it was in the 1970s, sometime in the 20th century, they actually switched it into what we call a fiat currency. And a fiat currency means that the currency is not backed up by anything. And it's really just like the government that I guess like sets the rate or whatever. Like I don't even know how money works at this point, but like yeah, so the US dollar is a fiat currency now. So yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep. But yeah, I guess pulling us back to the Tartarian topic, I just think it's like such a cool conspiracy theory. Like I don't know, just this idea that we have like an ancient civilization that built, or not necessarily ancient, but like a civilization that existed before the current era that built magnificent structures, and now it's being covered up. Like that's just like such a compelling topic, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just interesting.
Yeah, I can't imagine what else the government could be hiding from us if they're hiding this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they could be hiding anything at this point.
Yeah, like if you think about it, like if they lied to us about like Tartaria, then that means like all of history is a lie. And it's like, is George Washington even a real person? You know, like you really can't trust anything once when you start going down the rabbit hole. It's like at least this train of thought. When you follow this train of thought logically, you're going to get to the point where you're like, okay, if Tartaria is real, then that means that like all of history is a lie, and it's a system like you just think about, I guess, how they talk to us nowadays. Like everybody knows that the media, they lie to us, you know, like pretty much everybody knows that. And so it's like, okay, if the establishment lies to us right now, why wouldn't they lie to us back then?
That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking of like a good example for this, the Great Chicago Fire. The Great Chicago Fire apparently took down Chicago. I just needed to spell that out.
You need to go back to school, Elijah.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyways, the Great Chicago Fire apparently took down all these like brick buildings just as a fire, you know, and it's like, okay, fire doesn't burn away like bricks, you know? And that was a good point that they brought up in the documentary too. They said, like, I have like this fire that's surrounded by bricks so that the fire doesn't get out of control, you know? But here we see like what looks to be like the aftermath of a bombing or something, and it's just like very strange, you know? And this is another idea that proponents of the Tartarian theory put out, saying that they destroy these structures by means of a quote-unquote fire, but it's really just maybe controlled demolitions or some sort of strange technology that we may not know about. So it's just interesting stuff. But it's like, yeah, if they lied to us about one thing, why don't they lie to us about other things? And then you start going to a crazy point in your life where you're like, oh shoot, like maybe everything's a lie. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily everything from the past is a lie. There could be some truth in what they tell us, but there could also very well be many lies.
It's like it could be like it's a spectrum, and we just don't know what point on the spectrum we're at.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at. Like personally, I just like have no idea what to trust and what to not trust. I don't know about you, Alexa.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't really know either.
Yeah.
Just kind of going along with what I find out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I got a question for you, Alexa. Like, you haven't really been that interested in very many conspiracy theories. Why are you interested in the Tartarian one? Because like I noticed when I showed you the Tartarian one, like it piqued your interest quite a bit, and now you're all like caught up on it and educated on it, and it's very interesting to you.
Well, I don't know. I really am into like conspiracy theories when it comes to like the government and like when they try to like hide things or like try to control us or anything that goes along with like the government or like the Illuminati, any like big groups that try to take over.
Yeah.
And when you showed me the documentary and
Pause. Yeah, sorry about the interruption. I'm gonna ask that question again. So Alexa, like I noticed like when you were getting into the Tartarian, well, let me rephrase this. I noticed that you seem to like the Tartarian theory a lot more than other theories. Like
other conspiracy theories.
yeah, like when I would get into these different conspiracy theories, you'd be like, Elijah, like, what's the deal with this? You know, like, why? But when I showed you the Tartarian one, you're all like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is interesting. So, like, my question is just, like, why are you interested in the Tartarian one so much in comparison to the others?
Well, I think when conspiracy theories come to, like, the government and, like, them, like, trying to hide things or take control over us, I think that's very interesting for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the documentary that you showed me, once again, linked in the description down below, they provided a lot of logical reasoning to back up the theory. And I think that really enlightened me in a way.
Yeah.
And it was just really, really interesting to me.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about, like, okay, since you got super into, like, the Tartarian stuff, like, what do you think about reptilians? Like, because I remember you being, like, totally whacked out, like, I don't, like, why are you so into this, Elijah? And, like, so I guess, yeah, like, are you intrigued by the reptilians or, like this theory?
The theory that some government leaders could be reptilians?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
wacky.
It really is wacky.
Yeah.
And it's a little far-fetched, you know?
It does
like,
sound super far-fetched. Just like the Tartarian theory, it seems very far-fetched.
I feel like the Tartarian conspiracy is more logically sound than lizard people.
I don't know about that. Do you know?
Like, in comparison.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I guess it's more believable that they lied to us and totally, like, destroyed a civilization and created, like, this new civilization, like the Great Reset that happened probably during the Industrial Revolution. Like, yeah, I guess that sounds more plausible than reptilians, but, like, it sounds super strange, too, you know?
It is.
Like, it just seems weird, like some fantasy idea or something. Like, we're living in some kind of, like, in, like, 1984. We're living in, like this, fictional book.
Yeah. Definitely does feel like that. Like, when you think about the Tartarian structures and that kind of conspiracy theory, I think it's pretty, like, mysterious, like, the way it sounds. Like, oh, there's this old civilization that had all this technology that we, like, can only dream of having nowadays.
Yeah.
And now it's all gone and hidden from the government, and it's just so mysterious.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just really intriguing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool. Huh. And I guess part of it is, like, you struggle with some of the theories I'm into because you're a religious person and I'm no longer a religious person, and so that makes it a bit tough for us to have conversations.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure things out when it comes to religion, and so I prefer not to get into conspiracy theories that revolve around religion, if that makes sense, because I want to have a strong base as much as I can.
In religion.
Yeah.
You want to trust religion.
Yes. But
would you be good talking about any of this on the podcast or not?
Any religious
well, I'm saying
conspiracy theories?
we're already starting to get into the topic of religion, and so I was just going to ask you, like, you know what? I don't even remember what I was going to ask you at this point. But yeah, I guess, would you feel comfortable talking about religion on this podcast?
I'm not sure about that. Maybe not at the moment, but I would definitely be down to talk about conspiracy theories when it comes to the government
Yeah.
and organizations and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dang. Yeah. So Tartaria is a very interesting one. Is there anything else you have on this subject that you want to like talk about, or is that it?
We could get a little into the conspiracy theories that giants existed because of the Tartarian structures. The big doorways.
Yeah.
And the big skeletons that they found and stuff.
Yeah, there are plenty of buildings that have humongous doorways, and it just doesn't make much sense.
And it might be for decoration, but the handles are like way up high.
Okay, we were talking about giants.
Yeah.
So huge doorways in some of these Tartarian structures make it seem like the Tartarian civilization could have been run by giants.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's an interesting theory, for sure.
Yeah. Do you have anything to talk about with this theory?
Well, I mean, yeah, the doorways, some people may say that they were huge so that they could be fancy and decorative, but some giant doorways have like handles that are like way up high, so like that doesn't make any sense, for people of average size.
Yeah. It doesn't make much sense. But something that would make even less sense is that these doorways belong to giants. So it's like some people just go to the most, I guess, I don't want to say rational, but they go to like, I guess, the most apparent answer, which is that these doorways are big because that's how the people wanted to build them. And who cares if there's a handle that's way high up? Like, I'm not going to care about that because this is all just decoration,
Yeah.
And so I guess there's that. But of course we have a bunch of reports from the early 1900s, late 1800s talking about giant skeletons that they found and fun stuff like that. Very interesting. This type of thing kind of makes you question reality. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We could be in a little matrix, the government telling lies.
Yeah.
But I don't think life is a matrix.
So, okay, we definitely have something to talk about now. The Matrix. So, like, what's the difference between a reality that's a matrix and a reality that's not a matrix? Like, what would be the difference?
Well, I mean, do you mean, like, metaphorically a matrix?
No, like, okay, so if someone were telling you we're living in the Matrix, you think it's like a computer-generated simulation, or do you mean, like, a spiritually generated simulation?
I'm not really sure. Maybe spiritually?
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing, because it's like, what's the difference between a spiritually generated simulation and a physical reality? Like, it's like, what's the difference, Like...
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this kind of plays a part in religion a little bit.
So you're saying you don't want to talk about this anymore?
Yeah, but sorry.
All good.
But I think if we were in a matrix, quote unquote matrix, I think it would be like the government just like hiding things from us, if that makes sense. Like a bigger power that makes us think that life is different than it really is.
Oh, so okay, when you say matrix, you mean like a metaphorical type of thing?
Yeah.
Not really the physical reality that we see, like this watch that I pick up is projected from some sort of mind. and that mind could be a computer, or it could be a spiritual mind.
Yeah, I'm talking metaphorical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, imagine if you were an NPC in Minecraft and somebody like they created Minecraft, you know, and it's like from the perspective of the villager, the dude that created Minecraft is God and just did it through spiritual means. And they're not really thinking of it as like, oh, this is a computer, you know? And so it's like...
Yeah.
It's just interesting to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other topics on your mind, Elijah?
I don't know. I just kind of want to see how this video does, and I want to get feedback from everybody to see if there's like improvements that we can make, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Please let us know, you guys, if there's any topics you want to hear from us, want to hear our opinions on politics,
Religion.
anything. I don't know, anything like, really. I mean, it doesn't even have to be conspiracy theories or political. It could just be day-to-day stuff too.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to see how this would go. And I think, yeah, we did have a nice little discussion, but I don't know how we're going to keep pulling off, like, different topics and stuff every day.
Yeah.
Or whenever we do this.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, yeah, just you guys let us know what we got to do. And you have an amazing, beautiful day, everyone.